welcome back to my channel, and today we together solve the daily LeetCode problem, which is the scheduling problem. And this kind of the problem normally it will related to the heap and the sort. Yeah, the heap is my favorite topic, and today we exactly will do together with we solve the priority queue together. That is the min heap. Yeah, so in here like we need to schedule some of the events, and we need to like return the maximum number of the events we can attend. I feel like the first example is not useful for us, so I will start from the example 2. So in here like some of us like we have the confusion, and in here like so we have the events 1 2 2 3 3 4 1 2, and y is the output is a 4. So the reason is that like if we have the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then we can see that like one event is from 1 to 2, right? Another event is also from 1 to 2. Another event is from 2 to 3, and the last event is from 3 to 4. So what is the strategies for to choose the event? Okay, so for the day first, I choose to join this event. Okay, for the day second, I will choose this event to join, and only we can attend one event at any time d. It means that one day we can only attend one event. And so here on the day on the third day I choose this one, and on the last day choose this one. So totally we can attend all the events. Yeah, so that is the some of the things we can do, but I feel like the explanation and the example in the problem are not useful for us, so that's why I will demonstrate and using my own events. So in here like we can still can see that like because it depends on the days, and here like we still have 4 days: day first, day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. 2, 3, and 4, right? So here we have one event from 1 to 4. Okay, so it means that in here like as the hint in the problem we need to sort it first. So after we sort it, and it would be like this. And yes, we have 1 1. This is one event. Another one is from 1 4. 1 4. Okay, 1 4, another event. 2 2. 2 2. This is my own example. And 2 2. Okay, another one is 3 4. Okay, I will change the color. Okay, 4 4. Okay, so how can we choose the event? So it means that any given for any day, if we consider for each day, and then we have overlapping events, and how can we choose it? So greedily we should choose the one who ended first, which is ended first, right? Because like if we choose this event, it means that if we choose this green one, and somehow like we have the more possibilities, or like we have more slots for the subsequent events, and that is the reason why we always choose the one who ended first. And how can we do this? It means that in here like for each day, and then we have multiple events, and then we can use the min heap to sort down which one has the smallest, or like the smallest end date, right? In here the end date is 2, right? It is 1. For example, in here we can use a heap to store 1, and then this event is end date is 4, right? And of course we will choose the first one, and then we remove this from the heap, and then the heap will only have a 4. So it means that in here we will calculate it by pop the top of the heap. In here we have the min heap, right? Okay, so let's iterate through each day, and then we can see how can the algorithm works. For example, like we are firstly visit the first day, right? And then we have two events. So because like in here we only consider the starting days of the events which is smaller or equal 1, right? And in here like how many events we have this event and this event. So our heap is what? Our heap is like we will put the end date into the heap 1 4, right? And after that we can see that like we check which is the date satisfied the end time, right? We remove we remove the one who ended first, and then so we remove the first one, and now the heap is 4, right? Okay, next we will go into the second day, and in the second day we have 3 events, but this event has already put in the heap, so it means that in the second day we will check which is the starting day smaller or equal than 2, right? We have 2 other events. Okay, in here we have it, right? So we can put, because this is ended in the 2 and 2, and here we have the last one is 4, it's still in the heap. And so in here, in the next step, we can freely choose this one or this one. We can choose each of them, and then in the heap we have what? We have 2 and 4. Okay, so for now we can see that, like, okay, in the third day, because all of the events which have the, how many events we have, of course we add the new one in here, right? And then that would be like 2, 4 and 4, because like we only add the end date, right? Okay, so here we can see that, like, if this one is smaller than 3, we should not consider this, because like it has already considered in the previous step, and it means that if we consider this one again, it would be like overlapped. So it means that we need to clear the mean heap which the value is smaller than 3, because like we only consider about the events which is start from 3 to the end, right? To the end of the max day. So here like we have 4, 4, right? So, and of course in here we choose the first one, we remove the first one because it start from 3, right, and ended at 4. So in here like we can arbitrarily choose one of them, so this one or this one is still fine, and then our in the heap become 4. Okay, so we jump into this one, and then we add the 4, 4 into the heap. Now the heap contains 2 elements, 4, 4, and we safely remove one of them to get the count to become 4, right? So in here, like with this one, we remove one step in here. For one day, we only can have a max of 1, so we plus 1 here, we plus 1 here, and in here we plus 1 here. The heap is not empty, it means that 1 in the event happens, so the heap is not empty, right? So here after for operation, we can see that this one is 1, 1, 1, and 1. So in here we can lead to the count of 4, right? So we can do the similar things for the rest of the events. Yes, so let's together we solve this problem by using some of the programming language. I've used Python. Okay, so firstly we need to find the max day, and with the max day we can get the max, because like we need to know the how many days we have, right? Of course day in here up to 10 power 5, so we need to iterate each day by day. Right, we will find the max day, and of course because we need to short it, and so in here like we will define the mean heap to get the one who need to be selected first, right? The one who with the smallest ended, and here like we can get the count, and the I is the day we will iterate through, so that is 0, 0, and then we will loop over day 1 and max day plus 1, right? Because our day will start from 0, so that's why like we need to count it from 1, right? Because the event in the start day will be greater or equal 1, so we need to start from 1. So in here like we will check if the I is like smaller than the length of the events, and the events of I and 0, it means that the starting date smaller or equal to day, and then we do what? We will push it to the min heap, right? And then that is the events of I and 1. We will push the end date into the heap, and then so after we have done this, and then we need to go to the next event, right? And we also need to consider the min heap. For now we will clear the min heap, because like we will remove all of the event in here, for example at this step, and then we are at the day on the day 3, right? So all of the day smaller than 3 or we have already considered, and so it means that we need to ignore that, remove from it from the heap. If the min heap, it means that the heap is not empty, and then the min heap will get the top of the min heap. If that is smaller than the day, right, we will pop it out of the heap, like the min heap, right? And then for now, like if the heap is not empty, it means that we have at least one event in the heap that satisfy the condition. So that's why like we need to pop it. I mean like here, like that is the step we selected, right? And then we will get the count, increase the count by 1, and then we return the count. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I think that's all the things we have for today. So the logic in here is like that is very hard to come up with the greedy algorithm for this, but after you understand the greedy algorithms, and then you can use the heap efficiently to solve the problem. So the scheduling problem, like from my experience, is mostly use the queue, or sometimes like the sweeping algorithms. Yeah, so I hope that like my video is useful for you to overcome today's challenge, because like the acceptance rate is still low, but I mean that in here that is the good algorithm for, I mean the problem for us to practice our skills on the priority heap, right? The min heap. Okay, so thank you for watching my video, and see you next time.